Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back again to our channel. And of course, I am Trina.
And I'm Bon.
And we decided to do a highlight reel for the past year in 2024.
Yeah.
And 2024 has had lots of highs and lows.
It's been a lot.
There's been a barrage
been a year.
of. Can I say that? Am I still just pretty and and unsmart?
Just, babe, every now and then you say some things, but anyway, keep going.
Like I said, we've had a ton of ups and downs. We didn't know if we were going to be able to follow through for this whole year with the cooking podcast.
I thought you were going to say stay married.
We just had our 5-year anniversary this year.
We made it. Hey,
this December. So anyway, to make a long story short, too late. We didn't know if we were going to be able to get this podcast done. We've had the ups and downs of people leaving production, having to create new production, and getting lights, and it's still a work in progress. It really, really is.
You know what? I want to say something right there, if you don't mind. I want to thank, well, a lot of people we need to thank, but the first person I want to thank is Sam Carden.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we lost our other production team, didn't know what we were going to do. People think that people complain about production, why this and why that and whatever. This is so much harder than you imagine. I should probably do a once around the room so you can see everything that this entails. I mean, there's 4 cameras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lights that we're using. You know, it's a lot.
Plus the regular overhead.
But the point is that for someone, you know, I called him and I was just telling him, I'm like, man, I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know how to do this. He's like, I'll figure it out. And in a weekend, he figured out how to both film and edit. So I just want you to know, Sam, that we appreciate the way you jumped in to help us, because I don't. And he's done some pretty special things with our production, with adding music and the introductions and all of those things. So we just want him to know that we appreciate him.
His whole family played a part, from his wife allowing him to come here with all the, not allowing, maybe that's not the right word.
Yeah, because she was pregnant.
But yes, and to just be here and spend those endless hours with us.
She was 7 months, 7.5, almost 8 months pregnant when he started with us. Yeah.
Yeah,
she played a part too.
Even down to the children. His amazing daughter Gigi did a whole segment with us, which spawned off some new ideas, and
more to come in the future.
Definitely more to come. We also, throughout the course of this year, we signed a contract for BTV.
We did.
Along with Radiant Technologies.
I think you're missing the biggest thing that happened this year.
What? Had a baby?
No. No.
What?
You did an entire season of the Braxtons.
Yeah, well, we didn't get there yet.
But that's one of the things that happened.
Absolutely. And of course, we filmed and aired season 1 of the Braxtons.
Yeah.
And that was a very emotional time.
That was a lot.
It was a lot to take in and to kind of read.
And what people miss when you do stuff like that is, what I've learned is, people like my wife and my wife's family, it's like they live through things 3 times. Now, when it's great stuff, you get to relive it, 3 times. You get to, the time you shoot it, or the time it happens, that's experiencing it. Then if you're on the show, you shoot it sometime later and you talk about it and get to relive it. And then you relive it again when it airs on television. Everybody gives their response. And that's great when it's good stuff, when you're talking about a concert. But when you're talking about the loss of a loved one, it takes a toll. It's not easy. So when these women do what they do and give you guys the type of content that they have for all these years, I hope you appreciate it, because I know you think you could do it too. You couldn't. You might be able to sit alongside them like I do after some training, but to be able to command a room and to control the message and all of these things, and to pour your soul out, your heart and soul out in front of a camera, in front of a bunch of lights. And when we shoot, and people don't know this.
Excuse me.
If we're shooting, if you see us shooting here, like when we're the first scene of the first episode, we were in the kitchen. What you don't know was that there were 18 other additional people in the house. They're everywhere, and it's a major undertaking, and I applaud you and your sisters and your mom and your dad and your brother and
definitely little Kevin
and everyone, because this is not easy. So I know that you guys appreciate what they do, but there's some behind the scenes stuff that it gets difficult.
Well, to bare your soul is exhausting, actually, and
in front of strangers,
definitely.
And then in front of the world after that, yeah.
Well, yeah, because people don't comment responsibly. They don't know what a person's going through. They don't know that some people don't care.
And some people are happy that you're going through it.
That's true too. But overall, it was a really good time working with them again, and I look forward to the possibility of doing it again.
Well, that's the other thing. Your family finds a way to smile and laugh through almost anything. I mean, there was literally there was a large time at Tracy's funeral where everybody was just laughing and smiling. Nobody was crying. I mean, through everything, you guys will figure out a way to smile and get through it, and that's a skill that not everyone has. So that's pretty cool to watch too. You guys are very strong people. Very strong.
Sometimes.
No, more than you give yourself
Sometimes,
credit.
and sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying.
Whatever it is.
That's the definite truth,
Whatever it is.
But
whatever works.
that had, it's peaks and valleys.
More peaks than valleys, though.
But we made it through that, for sure. And of course, our behind the scenes,
which was a disaster at some.
yeah.
at some times, other times it was fun. It was an experience, because I was going to say something else and I'm not going to say that, because I don't really want to get emotional, but I was blessed enough to shoot 3 seasons, not full seasons, it's more like 2.5 seasons, but 3 seasons I appeared on of the first show. I won't say the name, right? Don't say the name.
You can say
Oh, Braxton Family Values. And then this one. And just to see the growth, the changes in life, the changes in career status, there were valleys, but in most people's lives, there are more peaks than valleys. That's kind of how you get through it. And just to be witness to it, to be allowed to be a part of it, is something really special, and I appreciate it. I mean, the people that know me know that I appreciate things. If you don't know me, you don't understand, but I appreciate things. And one of the things that I appreciate is me, just some dude who fell for a chick who happened to be famous. I've appeared on the longest running African American
excuse me,
reality show in history. And to me, I don't take that lightly. That's a huge blessing, and I appreciate you allowing me to do it.
I appreciate you actually doing it, because from the time you started to now, it's a huge difference. When you came in with that horrible tweed,
it wasn't tweed.
Whatever it was,
tweed.
was it houndstooth or
it
whatever it was?
It wasn't houndstooth either.
But whatever it was, it was horrible.
Just a plaid jacket. It was just for like a lunch.
It wasn't good. It was not good at all. and then you were so nervous.
Well, yeah.
And you don't even drink, and you was like, I need a glass of wine. And I've never seen you drink a glass of wine so quickly before in my life.
I was supremely nervous for a couple of reasons. I was nervous because I was in front of cameras and had never been. But the other thing is it was supposed to be
a double date.
Another dude there.
And it was Tracy.
And it was
who came with
Tracy.
your
And the funny thing is that when I walked through the lobby, like before they said it was time, I went to the bathroom, not to use it. I just had to get away from y'all because I was nervous. And I walked past to the bathroom in the Ritz. You know, you go out of that bar area and it's this way, but to the right. And over here, there's some chairs.
It was the Four Seasons.
The Four Seasons, okay. And I'm sitting. I'm like, that lady looks like.
Even though I still love the Ritz.
And I'm like, that lady looks like. Whatever. You matching things. I go back in. When I come out, I don't see her. And then as we get into the scene, like, this is the lady that I saw sitting. Oh, this is a setup. You know.
It was not a setup.
It was.
It was not.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Did you or did you not know that Sean wasn't there before the scene?
I did not know.
You didn't?
I didn't. I was sitting at the bar with you.
But that doesn't mean that they didn't tell you something separate?
No, they didn't tell me.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was a setup.
No, it was not a
I
setup.
thought it was. And I'm like, here we go.
Okay, so that happened. And then you grow out your beard.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it. And I think we need to do a poll to see who likes his beard and who doesn't. Because
We really-
I love the beard.
We really don't.
I love the beard.
I've kept it way longer than I anticipated. I did it only because you asked me. You got to understand that.
Well, no, that's not all the way true.
Why?
Because it started when you were out of town.
That was last year. And okay.
But that's how that journey began.
That's not how, because I cut it off before I even came home.
But I saw the pictures of it.
I spent the first 4 months of last year out of town. I mean, we didn't even see each other. I was
Except for FaceTime.
Except for FaceTime. Yeah, I was in Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, and Washington State. We were doing the cell towers. And a lot of people don't know, but that's what I do for a living. Is we don't build cell towers, but we bring them online. So, and the population out there in that part of the country is growing by leaps and bounds. People are leaving California and moving to those areas, or having vacation homes. And anyway, so I went out there for 4 months, and I worked with none but dudes. I was always alone, you know. So I just didn't feel the need to shave, and so it grew out. I didn't like it, but it was nothing. And so one time, I guess it got full, and there were a couple of days where we couldn't even speak because cell service was so intermittent. Well, we could speak, but we couldn't FaceTime because there wasn't enough bandwidth to FaceTime, so we would speak. But I answered the phone on FaceTime the first day. I think we were in Missoula, which is a pretty big town in Montana, which is progressive. And she saw it, and she's like, "You got to grow it again." So I did this year, but I think it's got to go, babe.
No way.
It itches. You said you were going to scratch it every day. You scratch it about 10 times.
Well, you don't put your beard oil on every day either,
No.
so.
It's a lot of work. Anyway, so.
Okay.
Something else, yeah.
Which potatoes have the most prostitutes?
What?
Which potatoes has the most prostitutes?
Which potatoes?
Which potatoes has the most prostitutes?
Idaho.
Yeah.
That's right. Your dad gave you that joke, didn't he?
No, they didn't give me that one.
Well, it sounds like
Idaho.
Oh my God, that's so bad. I'm ashamed.
But you thought about it enough to guess it.
Because I just said Idaho and potatoes, but I'm ashamed that I laughed at that. I am. That's bad, man. That's really bad.
So whatevs. So we both went on a hair journey this year.
Horrible. That was horrible anyway. What hair journey did I go on?
Your beard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That is.
And then I, with my sister locks,
Yeah.
that are only now 2 weeks old. Not even.
No, today's Friday. It's 2 days.
No.
Oh, you mean from completion?
From completion.
She started 2 weeks ago today.
No, yeah, but she didn't finish until.
She started on the 13th.
And she didn't finish until the 15th.
Yeah.
The day of our
7 a.m.
anniversary.
At 7 a.m.
So I'll never forget my.
We missed my boy's Christmas party because of it. because she wasn't ready, so I wasn't gonna go to a black tie without my wife. It would have been boring. So we missed my voice moves.
You trying to say I'm fun? She said it would have been boring without me?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Look at that. Look at that growth. Say it again. Let me hear it.
Okay, let's not get carried away. But I wasn't gonna go by myself, so we missed.
I'll get rid of this cough too.
We missed Smooth's party.
Sorry, Smooth.
Yeah, we'll be there next year. So I hear it was a huge success, but anyway, go ahead. So the hair journey.
So the hair journey, and Vaughn doesn't quite like it yet.
I don't like or dislike. It's just kind of benign now. I mean, if you want me to be brutally honest, the way, turn your head that way, the way it's sticking out of the back of your hat right now, that's kind of how it used to look when your natural hair, and by the way, her natural hair like comes down here.
Well, the shrinkage is real when you get whatever kind of locks, with the sister locks, you know,
No, but I'm just
interlocking
saying,
and all that other
I'm just saying, I think, my opinion was that she could have done something with her natural hair, but she didn't want to do that.
But I did do something with my natural hair. This is my natural hair.
But you know what I mean. In its natural state, you could have done something. I mean, sometimes I come home and you flat ironed it. Other times you have it wet and you put product in it, but you would never wear it out, which was annoying. Is annoying. But then, the day after she got her locks done, she went outside with crop patches. and had no problem with it. I'm like, what are you doing?
I wanted to try it out in public, and my head was so cold.
Yeah, I bet it was. And then she got recognized that day, and people were coming out.
Oh yeah, that just it's always the days you look your worst. It's always the days you look your worst.
But I was like, if you could wear crop patches, why couldn't you just wear your normal hair?
Well, okay, so full transparency, I have a stress spot like right in the middle of my hair.
Makes that up.
I don't make it up. I don't make it up.
You're making it up.
Anyway, to make a long story short, too late. It would always break off like right in the middle, and to have a full length of hair all the way around, and then like in the middle look like homie don't play that. It
didn't look like that.
Didn't look like it to you, but that's how I felt about it. We had a discussion like over and over and over and over again.
Let me tell you why it didn't look like that. Because if it had looked like that, I would have teased you about it.
Well, thank you, dear.
I'm just saying, I would have.
There was a spot. Should I show you them?
No.
Okay.
No.
We've got an endorsement with Healy Medical Tape.
Yes. Thank you.
We launched our coffee brand.
Brought it to life.
We Tuxedo brand coffee, and we still have a lot of work to do with that one, guys. Yeah. So, but you can still make your orders, but we still have a lot to do.
Orders, yeah.
Oh, what else?
Your sister got engaged.
Oh, I didn't know if we wanted to tell that as her recap, because she might want to talk about that.
But that's part of our lives too. We were
yes,
there.
Yeah. So yes, and Tawanda and
I got something to say about that. So apparently,
I have to wipe my nose.
That's fine. People do that. It's real life. So apparently, they got mad at me because I made reference.
They got mad at you. I mean, say the whole story. Don't say they got mad at me.
You, Tawanda, and Sean got mad at me because I said something about the wedding, but he proposed in a 3,000 seat arena. With people,
did it air already?
And no, it hadn't aired already, but people were filming. I mean, people text me, congratulations on your sister-in-law getting engaged, while we were still downstairs in Tony's dressing room. So my point is that when I said that on the recap or whatever, I didn't know that I was telling people things they didn't know already.
Well, unless you were in the room, you didn't know. And the thing is,
unless you were in what room?
In the room.
That's not
in
true.
The arena.
People posted it.
But you have to listen. Okay. You still have to listen. Right. At the end of the day, it's still a television show.
Right.
And we can't help what other people record, what they post, but we are bound to not give away any information
and when I made that mistake was the first time I was told that. There was never an opportunity I never told anybody anything that happened on the show before, because it just, none of it was, first off, none of it was filmed. We were always, in sterilized environment, because there were no other cameras there. You couldn't have your camera. I couldn't have my camera. So that was
especially not you, because you were the king of going live.
Well, yeah. Before we shot, yeah, I would go live. This is what we're doing. That's what people do with their lives. That's what I decided to do. But I never shot what we were actually doing. This was the first time where I would have been able to make that mistake, and no one had explained it to me because there was no opportunity. So my point is, I apologize, but I didn't think it was a secret. I thought the whole world knew. I mean, she's walking around Atlanta with a ring on. She's taking pictures of people. Everybody's. I mean, I saw it, on social media, so I didn't know it was a secret. So I apologize. Well, last year we didn't
celebrate New Year's.
We didn't because I was leaving on January 3rd to go out west to work. So we just spent time together. This year,
it's gonna be the same thing because you leave on the 6th.
I do, don't I? Yeah, but that's not. But I'm only gonna be gone for a day or so. That's not the same as.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
months.
better. So we may end up this year.
We might do something.
Either spending it with my sisters or one of my sisters, or just staying home.
Something low key. I mean,
very, very low key.
People like this always get invited to parties. We get invited every year. It's just,
People don't know how to act on the roads anymore. That's the only thing. It's just the police are always waiting to try to stop somebody from drinking too much.
It's not a problem because you've got a designated driver. So, and I'm not worried about the bad drivers out there either. I'm fairly confident in my ability to do that, but it's just, it's not enough bang for the buck. It's like, I don't know, I guess, I can't even say it's getting older because I never really liked New Year's parties. I just don't remember it ever being a big deal to me. I know you've been to some pretty fun ones, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were pretty fun, but I can stay home and put on a good movie and just pop some champagne at home. I don't like all that pomp and circumstance anymore. When it comes to it, it's just not as fun as it used to be.
When I used to want to do cool things when I didn't have the opportunity to do cool things. Now I have the opportunity through her all the time. It's like, just kind of over it. I think that's part of getting older. It's just because you can doesn't mean you should or have to. So we'll probably hang out with your sisters and bring in the new year, eat and go home. Well after all the chaos is over, just come back home.
I already bought the black eyed peas. So as we always do that, no matter if we're at home by ourselves or at someone else's house, we always make black eyed peas.
That's true.
It's always been a family tradition.
Huh?
Those are for good luck. And the greens are for financial well-being. So you got to do the turnip greens or collard greens.
What black people you been hanging around?
Bro, this is a southern thing. It's not black.
Yes, definitely a southern thing.
But a majority of the black people, their heritage is from the south.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
So there's a big crossover, even though there's a big divide.
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense. So, we have that every year, which they're always good.
I don't know why they call them Hopping Johns. So people call them Hopping Johns.
Yeah, your mom
black
says
eyed peas. Yeah, Hopping Johns. I have
My
no
mom used
idea.
to say that too. I like them when.
Excuse me. I have to call and ask her why.
I like black eyed peas when they're mixed with lima beans.
I don't like lima beans.
I do. With salt and butter, yeah, I do.
We used to
What else?
my aunt used to make us eat lima beans when we were young. Don't get to eat your beans and make you pretty.
Well, they probably had beta carotene and a bunch of other things good for your skin. I mean, a lot of that old stuff is actually the way it should be, But okay, we'll be ready for Valentine's Day.
We just went to dinner.
I was out of town. No.
No.
Oh, that was this year.
Yeah, this year.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah. I'm going back too far. Well, Valentine's Day is tough because my birthday is the next day.
Yes.
So typically we'll celebrate Valentine's Day because that's important to her. And then I can be somewhat left alone on my birthday.
Oh, that's not true. I always either make you dinner, or we go to dinner, or and I get you a cute little gift.
I'd rather you make it than go anywhere because the food's always better here. It's rare that I have a better meal in the street than I do at home. It may have happened 4 or 5 times this year. The rest of the time, anytime I eat, I prefer being at home. I mean, certain things at Chops, but you can make that lobster mashed potatoes and it's better. And I get to eat more because it's at home and it's cheaper. Yeah, most dishes, most meals I'd rather eat at home than out in the street. I'm kind of spoiled that way now. But we do Valentine's Day. And I don't remember what we did. Whatever it was, she wasn't mad. So, you know, I remember, I remember she was mad at me. So I did something right. For my birthday, it's like,
You keep trying me today.
what do you?
What do you mean I wasn't mad?
Right. So, okay, one of your birthdays I made you mad. I still remember it like it was yesterday. So I'm just saying, if I don't remember it, you weren't mad, so I did something right. Excuse me. But my point is that, I mean, like I turned 56 this year. How many more birthday presents do you? I don't want anything. You know, the only thing, and I thought about this. The only thing I want for my birthday is another one.
Yeah.
That's it. Everything else is, I don't know, whatever. If it happens, it's fine. If not, who cares? That's all I want.
And that was the biggest moment that happened in 2024.
And a peach cobbler. I want a peach cobbler for my birthday.
2024. The biggest thing that happened
Was what?
in 2024.
What?
I turned 50.
That's the biggest thing that happened this whole year.
Yes. I'm like half of 100.
That happens.
Yes.
You keep eating.
I made it to 50. I'm excited. Everybody didn't see it. Everybody didn't make it. So
It is a gift denied to many. That's true.
I'm happy to join the ranks of the big 5-0.
I mean, you have one alternative to getting older. And that's what I don't understand. I don't understand why people, I don't understand why people fear getting older, male or female. If you're old, that means that you were once young. You had your turn.
Yes, definitely had your turn.
You had your turn, and some people get a longer turn than most, you know. But I don't know. I think it's because I think I enjoy getting older because all the older people that I've known in my life seem to be pretty happy, you know. And I raised my kids, you know, they're 26, 28, 29 now. It's kind of on cruise control, you know. There's never a bunch of highs, but the lows are minimal. It's kind of cool. There are very few surprises. So I think that's why I enjoy getting older, because the hecticness and the you know, oh, we've got to do this, or let's go over here, we got to travel out of town. That stuff just kind of goes away. So I'm grateful for it.
Sir.
What?
What are you forgetting?
I don't know. Probably a lot, the way she's looking at
Evan.
me. Oh yeah, my son got married. My
Yes.
older son got married. That was a big one too.
It was in St. Louis.
September 7th.
In September, and we went to that amazing wedding.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so great to see your kids growing up and making their own lives and their own choices.
Your son Eric celebrated 2 years in December.
2 years married.
But Evan and Sarah had been together for 10 years before they got married. They started dating in high school. So, yeah, he was 19, she was 18 when they started dating. Well, I mean, he wasn't in high school then, but you know.
Their story is so synonymous to Eric and Mackenzie's.
It is. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, first off, she and I, how do you have a kid that's older than my oldest kid?
Well, only by a few months.
I know, but I'm just saying you're younger than me. But so our oldest kids are the same age, and our youngest kids are the same age. I just have one in the middle. Cameron turned the day before Trina. Cameron turned 28. Evan's 29 in August. Cameron's 28, and Brendan is 26, but it'll be 27
In
February, 10 days after I turn 57, because he's 30 years younger than me. So, Yeah.
You see, my son is only 20 years younger than I am.
Right. Well, my first one's only 27 years younger than me. So it's not, I mean, yeah. I couldn't have been a dad at 20 years old. I was barely good at it at 27, but at 20, I would have been a complete disaster. I was still in college.
So was I.
That would have been a bad move. Yeah, but you'd had a lot of life experience.
Yes.
You were living an adult's life. I was leading a college athlete's life in every sense of the word, trying to, figure out a way to continue playing after college, so my mindset was just different. So things happen the way they're supposed to, but I don't think at 20 I would have been a good father. So I'm glad I waited. So yeah, the wedding, huge.
It was beautiful.
It was too. It was. This year we did a bunch of traveling back and forth to St. Louis because we do that. But traveling, we didn't, for the show, we only did the Maryland, D.C. trip.
The DMV area, I guess.
DMV area and Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah, which
The
was
Tony show.
Yeah, we actually, I wrapped, my last episode was on Mother's Day in Vegas. I think you had more when we came back, but my last day shoot was on Mother's Day of this year. And that show was, if you haven't seen it, matter of fact, when she was on speaker telling Trina and I about it, I'm like, what? I don't see it. I was wrong. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a good show.
It's pretty cool.
It was a good show.
So we traveled there, and what else did we do?
That's when I ate that flower. I think I was allergic to. Remember, I couldn't. My throat closed up.
Yeah, we thought we were gonna have to get you an EpiPen. That was really silly.
Yes.
And then you're like, eat one, and then I ate like 3 or 4, and I'm like,
And you were fine by them.
it didn't.
But-
It did not. It made the top of my mouth feel funny, but it didn't really have an effect on.
It's like this thing now that everybody's taking that little flower thing. I'm not. You can't take everything people put in front of you.
Speaking of which, we're going to be taking, and we will document our experience. We're going to eat duck flower
Yes.
to cleanse ourselves in January. Sam will not shoot that because that's
That's the Exorcist of Vaughn and Trina.
yeah, exactly, because that's
Pretty much.
I mean that's a purging from the top and the bottom, they say, but I say it clears your mucus and a bunch of other things. So we're starting this whole health journey.
Yes.
We're getting, honestly, this last year and a half, because even when I was in Montana, I was working out because I had nothing else to do, but from right after I got back, because I came home a little sick because I had RF poisoning. Talk about that someday. But this year and a half, from May of last year to now, is the first time in my life I haven't worked out regularly. And when I say regularly, that's like 4 times a week. This is the first time in my life I haven't done it. And to be honest with you, I've kind of enjoyed it. I've kind of enjoyed not straining muscles and running sprints and all of that, but I'm ready to get back. So the point is that in January, we're gonna, what do you want to do?
Well, January, it's a dry month.
What's that?
No drinking for the month of January.
Dry. I'm thinking like it's gonna rain in January.
What? Oh, you just had a moment now. Just see, now you just had a moment.
Well, that dry term doesn't mean anything to me. That's silly. But although there were dry counties in certain parts,
Yeah.
but
So
anyway,
it's a dry month,
Yeah.
and we are going back to alkaline living
When you say going back,
because
you mean
we are
30
done.
days, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But we're gonna at least start it off for 30 days. We'll see how we feel.
We'll see how it goes. I mean,
And then our podcast, our cooking podcasts are going to be geared towards alkalinity.
So we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's no way that eating healthily is a bad thing. But I mean, I can go 30 days without eating chicken wings, and sweets and all. I can do that. I've done it plenty of times in my life. But there are just some times where certain things I want. So I think we'll do that for 30 days, but then moving through the year, we'll just pick, let's have a vegan week. Let's have a vegetarian week. Let's have an alkaline 2 weeks. Let's fast. We'll mix it up, and you guys will be
privy to that journey. Yeah, but the good thing about living an alkaline lifestyle is you get rid of that inflammation and that mucus in your body. So if we're gonna do the duck flour and all that, it just makes sense.
You need to back it up with something. You can't go right back to bad habits. Yeah,
exactly.
So it'll be interesting. So when we'll start.
We did for a good 6 months.
Mm-hmm. And we both
a couple of
looked
years ago.
really good.
Yes.
It wasn't a couple of years ago.
Was it? How
that was
long
like
was
our
it?
first full year together.
Was it only a year?
That was our first. That was in that first full year dating. That was like 18, baby.
Wowzers.
We weren't married.
No, we weren't. I know we weren't married
So
at the
then
time.
we were married in 19. So yeah, well, I mean late 19, the last month of it, but still. But yeah, and eventually, we'll get some videos of her working out, of us working out together. But I know y'all want to see her, so I'm gonna make her run sprints with me. She's gonna do it.
And because my neck looks thick.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
It see, that's the other thing. Okay, so here's the thing: if you ever date an artist or a creative,
Is that like a thyroid problem?
I think that's a Trina problem. They make up a lot of stuff. They see things that aren't there a lot. Like, my wife calls herself fat, and she won't stand up if I tell her to, but she's not.
Well, now.
Well, that's not now. First off, I don't date fat chicks, so she's never fat.
Okay, I wasn't when you started dating me. Oh, now we're married.
I would never marry a fat
Things
chick.
are going to do south.
I'm sorry, I just wouldn't. You're not. There's nothing wrong with you. There's never been anything wrong with you. Well, at least not physically.
I knew you were going to have a little smart mouth. I knew it.
Not physically, but we're going to get back on fitness and wellness, which wellness is more important than fitness. Wellness journey in this next year, so that'll be fun too.
We'll try to make it fun because that's never fun when your body is used to doing one thing and then you force it to do another.
Yeah,
because it's not going to be Monday meals with ribs and. The Monday meal's gonna be a lot different.
No, you made
delicious foods.
You made that food fun.
Yes,
man. That's the jury for me is still out on oxtail, because the oxtail that we eat isn't oxtail; it's really cowtail, and beef is not alkaline. They say ox is alkaline, but where do you find an ox? You ever seen an ox steak? You ever seen ox ribs? You've never seen an ox.
You can do buffalo though.
You've never seen an ox ribeye anywhere. So most of the time when you're eating oxtail, you're eating cowtail. So let's call it what it is. Buffalo's great. Ostrich is good too. Really good.
I mean, I don't mind cowtail. Nothing like a good piece of tail. Oxtail's delicious.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
I'm talking about oxtail.
You're not.
How you gonna tell me? That's in the refrigerator right now too.
Because I know what.
That's in the refrigerator.
From what?
The oxtail.
Cooked?
Yes.
From where?
I told you I went to Nikki's and got it because you made some.
Oh, we gotta go. So what? So he knows. What the? What is funny? It's a.
She's rubbing off on you a little bit.
What's funny about that?
You got Vaughn to cut it on camera for the first time. Twice.
What is so
I don't
funny?
know. Okay, go ahead, cameras back in.
Okay. No, I'm not doing it anymore. No. Count yourself in.
Okay. No, because you were talking.
No, count yourself
3,
in.
2, 1.
So what else happened this year? Something else.
Well, you and Tamika, I call her Tamika Lorraine Scott. You and Tamika Scott had
Winston. Scott Winston. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys did
Oh, had
a cook-off.
Had our second cook-off.
You had your second cook-off. The
Yeah.
first time she beat you.
I got blown out the first time.
And I'm going to be honest with
I
you.
got blown out.
I thought you were going to be blown out the second time as well.
Well, her presentation, I mean, and the way she made a stuffed salmon. She cut it.
Whoop. Cut it. Cut it. Cut it. Cut it.
She sliced it horizontally and stuff. What did she put in there?
Spinach.
Spinach,
cheese.
shrimp,
Was it asparagus or was it was spinach?
Spinach.
and shrimp. She had asparagus there too, but spinach and shrimp.
Cheese.
and
and
she
a
put
cream
cheese
sauce.
in it and cream sauce. She put all that in salmon, and I'm like, my little piece of salmon. It's about that. My piece of salmon is about that long, about that thick. Go to Aldi and buy fresh salmon. It's the best on the planet.
Okay, Roger.
Or Aldi.
But you marinated yours for about 3 hours prior, maybe 4.
At least 3, yes, ma'am. By the
Yes.
time we cooked it over there, it was more like 4. But I, did my seasonings and put it in a plastic bag and just let it sit in the refrigerator. And so when I took it over there, it just sat until she was ready to put hers in the oven because we did it at the same time.
And our friends and neighbors were there. Faison Love was there.
Faison was the judge.
Tony was there.
Fred Beasley.
Not Tony Braxton, friend Tony.
Fred and Jackie Beasley were judges, and the guy Tony, right? It was 4 judges, right? Yeah. And when Tamika's came out of the oven, I was like, nah. As a matter of fact, when they were eating it, when Faison was eating it, I'm like, are you gonna try mine? And he's like, do we really need to? I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I might just go eat mine myself. But, however, slice it up, gave them, and why didn't I use our sides? What was I thinking? I just put it on the same plate with hers. Why did I not?
I don't know, but
Use
I
your
made
macaroni.
Well,
some.
we did it to make it even.
I made
Oh.
some
So the
macaroni and
sides
cheese and
didn't
some broccoli.
sway.
Okay, so the sides didn't contribute to that. Makes sense. So put my slice on the same plate with the same rice and everything, and surprisingly, people liked it.
It was
And-
seasoned to perfection.
And I knew
It was seasoned to perfection.
if I give you a piece of my salmon, I know you're gonna like it. I just didn't think I would beat her. I just talk so much shit.
So now you have bragging rights until the next time.
Well, right, so we have to have a
The
cook-off.
bragging rights have transferred
We
over.
gotta have a cook-off rights, because she won the first one, I won the second. Now we gotta have a third.
You have to have a tiebreaker.
And then it'll be over after that.
But maybe your tiebreaker shouldn't be salmon. Maybe it should be something else. Because we were supposed to have a steak off. You and Sam and Darnell and Sean.
and Fred.
Wow, that's
And
a
Fred.
lot. That's a lot of meat.
Yeah, we were gonna have it, but scheduling.
Shoot, forget Arby's. We have the meats. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom,
And then
boom.
and then Sam went out and bought half cow, and cut these ribeyes that are about that thick.
Yeah, they were more than 2 inches thick. They were like
They were-
about 3.5
think
inches
of
thick.
think of a little ear pod, like iPhone earpods. Then you put that on the table. The steak was this much taller than the earpods. I mean, they were enormous. I still have 2 of them. I put them in the freezer. I still have 2 of them to cook, but we'll probably wait till it gets warm, because there's no rush. Wait till it's warm and nice outside, and we've got daylight and all of that, and then we'll have a cook-off maybe in the spring or something, but we'll do steaks. But I can't have another salmon cook-off because I can't.
That's what I just said.
But I'm saying, but I can't because I don't know any other way to make it. So I'm done. My salmon is my
No,
salmon.
it was different this time.
It was right.
It was flavored differently.
because I've learned some things, but I don't have another way to cook salmon. So if you ever have my salmon, you won't spit it out. It may not be the best you've ever had, but you won't spit it out.
6 months.
Okay. So what else happened?
The Jamie Foxx thing.
Oh, the
Anything
Jamie
traumatic
Foxx.
happen?
Well,
Any terrible things happen?
Let's break into. Nothing terrible happened this year, thankfully.
praise God.
Man, most things that happened this year were good. So, what else did we do this year?
We were invited to see the live taping of the Jamie
Jamie
Foxx
Foxx,
Netflix special.
Yeah.
And I still have yet to watch it
To see
on
the
Netflix.
finished product. Yeah, we
Netflix.
haven't watched it.
I feel like it would ruin it for me. There, that I feel like we got hidden gems that we received being there
Yeah,
live.
it's gonna have to be dumbed down for television because we got all his ad libs, we got his side jokes that can't be
Replicated.
on a camera. He said some things that, you know, some pretty funny things, some pretty relevant things. I'm not going to even hint at what they were, but he said some things that
He had some ooh no you didn't kind of
like whoa,
like no you
like
didn't.
people are looking around like
don't do it, don't do it.
hold on. He said some things. His production team was like looking at each other.
Don't do it.
Right.
Don't say it. Yeah,
Because
so
right after one, we took an intermission once. They just said we're gonna take a 15-minute break, and everybody got to use the bathroom, or whatever.
yes, that was amazing.
But that was really good. And
you snuck a drink in for me.
I
I don't even know where you put it.
It was in my pocket, and I had to. And the thing is that the lady filled it up to the top, so I had to drink it down. It was strong. I had to drink it down. So when I took a step and I was walking like I had a limp, but it was in this pocket because security was on this side, and so I got a drink, and I'm like, bend over, drink that under the thing. You can't have it in here. But here's another interesting thing. And you guys have seen bits and pieces of it, but until it's completed, it won't be made public. But Trina was a guest artist on Gorilla Zoe's new song. Won't say the name because we don't know. But got to see her in the studio. Now, the first time I got to see her in the studio was in 2020 when you redid Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. So when you look at the Christmas specials and that you will get a sentimental spirit when you hear it thing, that's her. Feeling, whatever. That's her. She redid it. And then, so I got to see that, and then I got to see her in the studio this time, and that was fun. And then Zoe was in there with her. So we had a good time.
And then, of course, the Raceway with T-Pain and Amber.
That's it.
That was a lot of fun. To be in the car with him and
drift.
And drifting.
I never thought I would experience drifting in my life. Now, we spun out, he and I did, but I think that's more a function of me in that, because we spun to my side, so I think the added weight.
It was a little heavier on your side.
Yeah, the added weight on my side. I do. I think it threw off the car, because I watched him drift with everybody else, and it was fine. And then we spun this way with me. I'm like, yeah, that's my stomach. So my bad. Sorry, bro. But that was a good. that was a good time.
That was a very, very good time, and thank you so much for your hospitality.
Yeah,
that was amazing. Thank you,
fun.
Amber and T-Pain.
Thank you. That was fun.
So we've had some pretty special guests this year. We look forward to some more special times.
Yeah.
Some additional special times this year.
I think
in 2025.
Well, myself, Sam, and Baz went to the Petit Le Mans this year. That's a race that we have. It's a 10-hour race, and it's only about 5 miles from here. But the objective in 2025 is for us to make a Formula One event stateside, of course. Who knows? But at least stateside, we're going to try and make an F1 event here. So, of course, I'll chronicle that. Most of you won't care, but there are 3 or 4 of you that will be as excited as I will be when I go. So, and I plan on getting on the track myself in 2025.
All right, man. So we thank you guys for joining us in our kitchen. We thank you for joining us with our behind the scenes. And we thank you guys for joining us yet again as we talked about our moments in 2024. We look forward to seeing you guys a lot more in 2025. And we'll see you again very, very soon.
Yep.
Goodie.